Good morning, students. So in previous class we discussed what is coordinate geometry and what is geometry we discussed, and what we are discussing in coordinate geometry. So and also we discussed exercise 5.1. So next, before going to next exercise, we will discuss some basic topics regarding that exercise. So to describe a point in a plane, to describe a point in a plane, so we require two perpendicular lines. We require two perpendicular lines crossing each other. We require two perpendicular lines crossing each other. So in the two perpendicular lines, one line is vertically, one line is having vertically. So whenever we are standing on the earth, how we are standing when we compare to earth? So we are standing vertically to the earth. So this vertical line we call y-axis. Y-axis. And next, if you come to the another line, so the line will be horizontally. So whenever we are sleeping, so we will be in which mode? So horizontally we are sleeping when we compare to the earth. So this horizontal line we call x-axis. So what we call this? X-axis. So if we extend the other side, so this is called x dash. So nothing but, so here we are writing, we are taking this is positive x-axis. This is positive x-axis. And if you take next this side, this is negative x-axis. Negative x-axis. So we are representing x dash. Next, in the same way, below this we are writing this as y dash. Means, so in the same way, this one positive y-axis and this negative y-axis. Negative y-axis, and this both x-axis, nothing but x dash we are saying, and next this y-axis y dash. These both are intersecting at a point. These both are intersecting at a point. So what is that point? We are going to represent that point by the letter O. By the letter O. So what is O? O means origin. O means origin. The intersection of x-axis and y-axis. Both axes meeting at a point. That point we call origin, representing by the letter O. So in a plane, the axis, so these x-axis and y-axis, so we are calling that coordinate axis. Coordinate axis. So these both are called coordinate axis. So this coordinate axis divides the given plane, into four parts. First, second, third and fourth. So it is dividing into how many parts? Four parts. So what we call that four parts? Quadrants. So we call that quadrants. So the four parts we call that quadrants. So this is first quadrant. So nothing but we are representing Q1. This is the first quadrant. And next, this is Q2. Q2 means second quadrant. And next, this Q3, nothing but third quadrant. And next, this Q4, fourth quadrant. This is fourth quadrant. So how many quadrants there are? We are having four quadrants: Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4. So whenever if you take a point, so we are going to describe the position of the point by using coordinates. So the distance from the perpendicular distance from y-axis to the point. So which distance, Nana? The perpendicular distance. So this is the given point. Let this point is M. That point is M. So this is the perpendicular distance from y-axis. The perpendicular distance from y-axis, we call that x coordinate. X coordinate. A perpendicular distance from y-axis is called x coordinate. In the same way, the perpendicular distance from x-axis, so this distance, so from x-axis we call that y coordinate. Y coordinate. The perpendicular distance from y-axis is called x coordinate, and the perpendicular distance from x-axis is called y coordinate. This x coordinate and y coordinate also called having some other names, x coordinate or abscissa. X coordinate is nothing but abscissa, and y coordinate also called ordinate. Y coordinate also called ordinate. So we are representing the position of the point in a plane by using coordinates in such a way, by using the ordered pairs. So if you take the variables x comma y, by using the ordered pair x comma y. Suppose if you take that point M in that plane, so the position of the point from x axis and y axis, so M of x comma y. So if you come to the sign, so what is the sign of x coordinate and what is the sign of y coordinate? What is the sign of x coordinate and y coordinate? So in this quadrant, first quadrant, this is the positive x axis and this is the positive y axis. Positive x axis and a positive y axis. In this quadrant, both having the plus signs, plus comma plus. So the point reference, both are having the same sign, plus sign. So similarly, if you come to the second quadrant, so this is the positive y axis and this is the negative x axis. So if you take a point, then what about the signs of that points? What is the sign of x coordinate? This is negative x axis. So here will come minus, x coordinate sign will be minus, and this is what? Positive y axis. Then y coordinate sign will be plus. And next, if we come to the third quadrant, what about the signs of the coordinates? Nothing but abscissa and ordinate. So both, this is negative x axis. What is this? Negative x axis. And what is this? Negative y axis. This is negative y axis. So negative x axis means x coordinate sign is minus and y coordinate sign is minus. Both sign is minus comma minus. And next, if you come to the third coordinate, what is the sign of x coordinate and y coordinate? So this belongs to the these both axis, x axis and negative y axis and positive x axis. Here this is positive, means x coordinate sign becomes plus, and then y coordinate sign becomes minus. Like this, has to remember the signs of the coordinates in the quadrant. In first quadrant both will be same sign, that is plus. In second quadrant both will be minus, same sign, this also. But here both are having negative sign, here both are having positive sign. If we come to the second and fourth quadrant, both are opposite to each other. If x is minus, then y coordinate sign will be plus. If here x coordinate is plus, then y coordinate sign is minus. So like this, has to remember the signs of the coordinates of a point. When we are plotting the point, then what is the x coordinate sign and then what is the y coordinate sign, we are going to plot that by using the given numbers. So now see, if you take a point, so let this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5. Then here minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5. So if a point given to you, let that point is P, represent the point. So it is nothing but 4 comma 3. So how you can represent on the plane by using that? So 4 is what here? X coordinate. 4 is x coordinate or abscission. X coordinate is nothing but abscission. And what about 3? 3 is y coordinate. So x coordinate means what now? So x coordinate means nothing but the perpendicular distance from where? Y axis. Y coordinate means the perpendicular distance from x axis. What is x coordinate? X coordinate is 4. This is 4. Perpendicular distance from y axis. And then what is y coordinate? 3. So through that line, if we come here, this is 3 and this is 4 comma 3. This represents the points. So like this, we can describe the position of a point exactly by using coordinates. So that is nothing but coordinate geometry. Okay, like this we can represent the point in a plane. So now if we come to the origin, what is this point? Origin. So we discussed what is the origin. The intersection of both x and y axis is called origin. Then what about the coordinates of the origin? What is x coordinate and what is y coordinate of a origin? What is x coordinate and what is y coordinate? So the x coordinate. So what is the distance? So x coordinate means what? Perpendicular distance from y axis. That is nothing but 0. In the same way, perpendicular distance from x axis, that also 0. So the origin coordinates are 0 comma 0. The coordinates of origin is 0 comma 0. Next, so what is the coordinates of a point? So if you take it, this is a point lying on which axis? X-axis. Lying on which axis? X-axis. So what is the coordinates? How we can describe? So this point, let this be y. Y is the point. Then what are the coordinates of this point which is lying on x-axis? So first we are writing what? X coordinate, and then we are writing y coordinate. So if you come to x coordinate, what is x coordinate? Nothing but perpendicular distance from y axis, that is 3. And perpendicular distance from x axis y coordinate, nothing but 0. 3, 0. So this generally we can say that if a point lies on x-axis, then the coordinates of that point is x, 0. X, 0. X is any number. Means on x-axis. What is y coordinate? 0. On x-axis, what is y coordinate? 0. So in the same way, if we take same point, so if we take here what is x coordinate? 0 will come, and what is y coordinate will come? 3. So this point is lying on y axis. This point is lying on y axis. Then generally this also we can say, if a point lies on, instead of x axis, if it lying on y axis, on the axis, that is which axis? Y axis, then what are the coordinates of that point? The coordinates of that point are 0, y. Y is any number. So on y axis, x coordinate is 0. On x axis, y coordinate is 0. So similarly we can say by this equation of x axis is y is equals to 0. Equation of x axis is y is equals to 0. Next equation of y axis is x equals to 0. Equation of y axis is x equals 0. Equation of x axis, y is equals to 0. We can say like that. Okay. Next we are having next exercise. We will continue next class. Exercise 5.2. Okay students.